Bonjour tout le monde. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Learn French with Madame. Today, we're going to talk about le partitif. So, in English, le partitif just means the partitive. So, I'm going to write out some notes up here, means the partitive. And the partitive in English, if you don't know, just means that you're using it to express that you want part of something or part of an item. So you want some of something. So part of something. Usually, the partitive is used with food, right? Because you want part of a pizza, but you don't want a whole pizza. So you only want part of it, you don't want all of it. Now, the nice thing about the partitive is that you already know it. You just don't know how to use it or what it's called, but you already know what the partitive consists of. So, with that being said, we're going to go through and write out all of the things that you need for the partitive. And by meaning saying that you know it already, I mean that you know what it consists of. So the partitive uses de plus a definite article. So de plus a definite article. So since we already know our contractions with de, that's why I said you already knew what the partitive was. So we're going to go through and fill in our table with our contractions with de. And then we can start doing some examples of using le partitif. All right, so I've got my table chart drawn here. It's not a very good table chart, but this is why Madame doesn't teach art. So let's go through and fill in our table. So first off, we have de plus le, de plus la, de plus délai, and de plus L apostrophe. Madame kind of gave you that answer there for a second. So now that we have our table chart kind of filled in on the left-hand side, all right, so this is the part where it's a little bit of review, filling in what those contractions are. So first off, we have de plus le, and de plus le combines together to equal do. Then we have de plus la. De plus la, remember, stays the same, so it stays de la. De plus le combines to equal day. And de L apostrophe stays the same. De L apostrophe. So this is the part that you already knew. You already knew these contractions with de. So now let's go through and let's do some examples. So first off, we could say tu veux, you want, and then beurre. We're going to make that a question. So tu veux blank beurre. So now think about it for a second. What article would I usually use with beurre? And tell me which contraction I'm going to use. Which partitive article am I going to use? We do. So tu veux du beurre. Even though beurre ends in an E, it is masculine. So we need do. Let's do a couple more examples. We're going to say il mange blank œuf. So we're going to say he eats some eggs. So which partitive article would I use over here? Weekday, because œuf is plural. I'm going to throw you a curveball, and I'm going to give you this sentence. Ooh, Madame almost gave you the answer. All right, so I have tu veux blank croissant. What should I put there? Am I going to use a partitive or am I going to use an indefinite article like a and? Am I going to use the definite, the partitive articles with the definite article? So saying I'm going to have some of it, or am I going to say that I have one of it? It should be one, right? Because you can't really eat a part of a croissant. So it should have been tu veux un croissant. Do you want a croissant? So basically with the partitive, this is the part where it can be a little confusing because you have to decide when you're talking about something, if you can eat part of it or if you can eat a whole one of it. So for smaller items like croissant or banana or orange or grapefruit, those are all things that you would usually eat a whole of something, like the whole of it. But if you're talking about butter or eggs or toast, right? You were going to eat some of the toast. You're not going to eat all of the toast that's possible. You're only going to have some of it. But if you're asking if you want something, like if you want a whole of something that you could eat of, then you would use un, une, or des. So, real quick recap. I'm going to write this down here in this bottom right in a different color. So, if you want part of something, you're going to use the partitive, that du, de la, des à l'apostrophe. So you're going to use one of those. If you are eating a whole of something, if you're eating the whole of something, you're going to use un, une, etc. So un or une if you're using the whole of something. So if you're eating part of something, you're using de la, des, or des à l'apostrophe, or de à l'apostrophe. If you're eating the whole of something, then you're going to use un or une if it's feminine. Hopefully the partitive isn't super hard. Like I said, you've already learned most of this. You had already learned all of this, but hopefully this isn't super hard to understand. And that's pretty much it for today's video. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. But stay tuned et à plus.